Okay, so we are starting our Picasso Cubism self-portraits. They are going to be abstract, which means that they do not have to look like you, but they could resemble you. I'm starting, just as I start a normal self-portrait, I'm starting with an oval shape in the center of my paper, nice and big, covering lots of space. So I'm just going to start with an oval. I'm drawing very lightly so that if I have lines that I need to erase, I can erase those. So Cubism used simple shapes to show images in real life. Can you guys see, or should I draw a little darker? I can draw it darker. I was trying to draw lighter so that way if I needed to erase, it wouldn't show. But I can draw darker. That should be better. In the center of my oval, I'm drawing a shape that's supposed to resemble my nose. It's not going to look like this shape, but if you like this shape, you can draw this one by drawing a line down the middle, 2 circles on the side, and a V shape underneath the line, if you like that nose. My nose is going to be more like a sideways triangle, and then it's going to go down like that. So, whichever nose you like better, you can do. Think of your nose. What does a nose look like to you? What kind of shape do you want to use to represent the nose? What kind of shape do you want to use to represent the nostril?
I know.
I like to use a frowny face shape, so the opposite of a smiley face, to represent my nostril. Maybe even because I know in Cubist paintings they drew big black shapes. Maybe I'll make my nostril, I'll fill that in black. The coloring we're going to do, I didn't talk about this yet, but I'll talk about it now as you draw. The coloring, we are going to use oil pastels, so they're nice and bright, and then we are using watercolor to go over the oil pastels, because oil pastels, the way that they're made, they are oil based, which means the water will not paint over them. It'll actually just go around it, and it comes out really nice. So we'll be using both oil pastels and watercolor. So right now the pencil will be covered, so you don't have to worry if you're covering it in or coloring it in with your pencil. That eventually will be oil pastel. So now I'm going to add my eyes. You can think of which way do you like to show the eyes. Do you want them to be on the same level? Do you want one to be higher and one lower? Do you want one to look straight and one to the side? These are abstract. They don't have to look real. So you can take a look up here. I'm going to really quickly point out some posters. These two are both on the same level and they're both looking out. These two are on opposite levels. One is higher, one is lower. Same thing with this one. They're on opposite levels. This one's looking this way. This one's looking forward. So none of them are the same. Yes?
Do we need to show our whole body?
No, we're mainly doing our face. We can add a little bit of neck and shoulder, but mainly face. That's a good question. Yes. You can start over on the back if you want. Yes. That looks really good. So decide how you want to make your eyes. I'm going to start with like a football shape for my first eye. So it's the shape of a football. And then I'm going to draw a line in the middle. Underneath my middle line, I'm actually going to draw another circle. So my eye is going to look like that for my first eye.
We're going to make the nose.
I did make my nose. That's my nose.
I mean my mouth.
Yep, we'll do the mouth. in a second. First we're going to do our eyes. So I drew my first eye. My second eye is going to go the opposite direction. It's going to go sideways. So, and it's going to be a little taller. You can leave if you need to. So this eye is actually going to be looking inside. Think of a creative way to draw your eye abstract. It doesn't have to look like mine. And maybe this one, I want this to be fully dark.
Can I make a square eye?
Yep, you can make a square eye. It's abstract.
A triangle eye. How are we gonna make that? Or a hexagon eye.
I really do like how this one has the eyelashes, how they're very thick and bold. So I'm going to do a few of those on my eye, only I'm going to do mine more pointed instead of like kind of how this one is. Instead of square, mine are going to be pointed. So I'm going to draw really high pointed eyebrows, or eyelashes. And then maybe my eyebrows will be more like a rectangle.
So can I make my eyelashes now?
Yep, you can go ahead and make your eyelashes. And this eyebrow is going to go more slanted. Yes.
How do you draw the nose on the right side?
The one of the poster?
Yeah.
Do you want me to draw it on my paper, or do you want me to come help you? Sure. So, you had it done pretty good. You drew two lines.
Okay. Here, and then this is like here. We're gonna draw a line. Okay. Here and here. Connect these two dots.
Look, see, those are stitches. His mouth is gonna be
Very
stitches.
good.
His mouth is gonna be wiggly.
Okay. And from here to here.
So it's not going to look normal. They're going to be very
Ooh, I like that.
Good, I like your shapes.
Can I make my eyebrows now?
No, nope. These don't have to look realistic, so even if they look like one's bigger than the other, that is fine.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
now
That's
it's like a
nice.
girl.
That actually worked out good.
Very nice.
Yes, stitches.
Yes.
It's fun because you can't really mess up, right?
You can't mess
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
so
so
you
that
have
looks
to
like
do
a
that.
It can be as
You
ugly
can
as
use
you want,
different
like
shapes.
this.
You don't have to do eyelashes.
This is your eyebrow that you made.
Very good.
Can it look like this?
Very nice abstract work. What can you make? Yeah, of course you can make wrinkles. You can make shapes. You can actually, if you want to, you want to do a block of color like how this yellow piece is, you can draw that outline of it. So like let's say I want over here to go like that and maybe come up. So I just made a random shape, and now maybe I want that shape to be green. So when I start to color it, I'll make that shape green. But before we start doing shapes, let's finish our mouth, because that's the last of the features. And then we'll add our ears, and if you want to do hair, or like in this case, there's a hat.
I made my hair.
So raise your hand if you're ready for the mouth. Good. So it looks like most people are ready. So your mouth, this one looks like it's closed. I want mine to be really big and open. So I'm going to actually make this entire section my mouth. I might even make it go off the paper, off the oval. So I'm just going to really draw a diagonal line going off this paper, and I'm going to draw 2 lines for the lips. And mine's going to be open. And it's going to go up and back in. And that's going to be my entire mouth.
Wait, it looks like Pac-Man now. Wait, is that a gold?
If I want to draw teeth, I can, and they don't have to be straight. They can be all over the place. If they want to be pointed, I can draw teeth. I can draw them together, or I can draw them apart. And we're being respectful.
Okay,
His mouth is, his mustache is gonna look like his dad.
If you want your mouth to stay on the page, you don't have to go overlapping on the other side. You can do it differently. You can do it small. Maybe you want a really tiny mouth.
Why does it look like a duck now? Look, now his mustache looks like Hitler. Two buck teeth.
It kind of reminds me of a clown.
Good.
He's a clown. He said, that's the devil. The devil.
It's not even.
You can draw shapes, very nice. You can draw shapes that like around your face that you want to be certain color.
It's the devil, and then he has this guy looks retarded.
If you want to draw lines,
Challenge.
Hey, Isaiah, that's enough with those words, please, okay? They're not respectful.
How do we do the hair? Whoa, that's
I'm just coming up with different shapes that I can represent for different things. So that might be, I don't know, I just felt like putting that there. There was actually no reason. It didn't have to, maybe it's my cheek. That's the great thing about abstract art, is that you can be more creative and a little bit out of the box. And you don't have to be realistic.
I like abstract art.
Me too.
It's funny. I like it too because I make your guy look funny, and it doesn't have to look like anything to anyone.
Right, and it can mean something to you, and it doesn't have to mean anything to anyone else. How do you guys want to draw your ears? Let's think about the ears now.
I know exactly.
So if you look up at the posters, this one's kind of nice. It has 3 circles, and it's got like some detail on the inside. Very similar to the one he did down here. So you can think of circles are a nice way to represent ears.
Can we draw them as hearts?
You can draw them as hearts, of course. So I'm gonna draw, I don't know if I've decided if I want to do a really big ear or a really small ear. I think I know for sure I want them to be different levels. So one's gonna be low and one's gonna be high. And I'm gonna do giant circles that go in like that. So that's how I wanted to draw my ears today.
Aww. They look like butterflies.
They do.
Look it.
Butterflies are
Here to here, okay?
Now,
One is high and big, and one is low and
Oh, I know it.
Use your arm. So you're gonna go start here and come out and go around.
I'm just filling in my empty space with some line work. And I'm gonna call it a day on my portrait. I can add a neck and some clothing. That could also be geometric.
Do you like my ears? I'm a dinosaur.
Once I'm done,
And I don't look
I can decide if I want to give it hair. I just gave it like a neckline. So let's think. How does my hair have to look? Thinking, how do I want it to look? Sometimes my hair is curly, so I'm going to make just big, over-exaggerated shapes.
hair's all over the place.
Yep, like it's all over.
Like when you wake up.
Like when I wake up.
Make it look like my hair. Oh my god, look at my ears.
They're looking cool.
There is no right way or wrong way.
I'm making
It's the way that you want it to look.
My guy's gonna have afro.
Before we do the oil pastels, I do want to use Sharpie to trace them because the Sharpie won't run if we put water on it. So, I'm really quickly going to demonstrate how I would outline them with Sharpie. And then I'm going to I'll have Table Monet help me pass out the Sharpie. I'm going to very carefully stay on my paper. And I'm going to outline my shapes. Once I'm done outlining, I could erase my pencil marks, give it a bath. But I am going to go over all the pencil.
So start here, and you can draw down to here, okay?
Alright, good luck. We'll color it another day.